Welcome to Burn On, Not Out, the podcast for high achievers who check the boxes, hit the goals, built the life, but know there has to be another way. I'm Brooke Dukes, your no BS business bestie, and I'm here to cut through the fluff with real stories, sharp insights, and the kind of truth that opens your eyes to a new way of creating success with ease and flow. No hacks, no hustle worship, no pretending constant activity is momentum. Just the raw, practical, and powerful shifts that happen when you stop leading from fear and start leading without the armor, with clarity and authenticity. Let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about something every high achiever has felt but rarely admits, myself included. We're not hustling because we love the grind. We're hustling because we're scared. We're scared of being irrelevant, of slowing down, of being forgotten. So we push harder, we work later, we perform better. But what if that hustle isn't the solution? What if it's the symptom? In this episode, I'm going to break down why you feel constant pressure to keep going and how performance becomes a coping mechanism and what it actually looks like to lead without running yourself into the ground. Hustle has been my entire life. And up until, probably, I don't even know, 6 years ago, maybe something like that, I didn't really fully get that it was a symptom of my fear. I really thought it was my superpower. I could get more done than anyone. I could work longer hours. And pretty typical to women in business, we have this in our head, well, probably on purpose, people put it in our head, but that if we can just outwork them, right, then we'll get the promotion, we'll get the recognition, we'll get the success. And I've learned the hard way, giving myself COVID and shingles at the same time, putting myself in the hospital, going into preterm labor on a corporate jet. Over and over, I have examples of how that hustle didn't serve me. This is my fourth business. Every business until this one right now, where I'm completely went out of my own to really live my truth, to be authentic to who I am, to what I have to say, and fuck what anyone else thinks. Up until this point, it has been a drive to achieve more, to get more recognition, more proving my worth, everything. In my last business, I can't tell you how many times people said, Brooke's your go-to. She's my right hand. She can do anything. But it was killing me because I had completely shut down my intuition. I completely shut down my inner guru. So I just want to tell you that because for those of you that are thinking, what if I slow down? Like, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel this drive to keep going? There's nothing wrong with you. You're just living in a world that rewards burnout because it helps other people to achieve their goals. If you're killing yourself, especially for someone else's goals, overriding your nervous system, overriding your intuition, it is killing you on the inside. And here's the thing, it's killing your potential for success. You could achieve more in less time. You could achieve more while enjoying your life right now. That old secret adage, oh, grind it out now, you can enjoy it later. Fuck that. That is old paradigm thinking. It's no longer going to serve you in 2026 and beyond. So that's really what I want to talk about today. How do you stop the hustle? How do you jump off the hustle bus? Because if you're like me, and I suspect many of you are, urgency is your go-to. Rest feels unsafe. Fear of stopping. I can't tell you how many times I have thought, if I slow down, what's going to happen? Everything's just going to come to a screeching halt. Everything I have built to this point is going to crumble if I stop. right? That old adage, if you don't do it yourself, it's not going to get done. No, not true. That constant pressure to prove yourself. I feel that unworthiness all the time. It's something I still feel to this day. It's something I am working on. It's because I know that that is just my old conditioning. I don't have to prove shit. You don't have to prove anything. You are fucking amazing exactly how you are. You don't need to prove anything to yourself or anyone else. So there's a kind of drive that it looks like strength. I always thought, well, yeah, it was a badge of honor. I can outwork anyone. I'm fucking strong. I'm a warrior. I can do this. But underneath, it's fear. Right? It's the pressure to always be on, always in control, always producing. And that's when your leadership starts coming from anxiety instead of clarity. That's when you start making decisions that don't work. They're moving you in the opposite direction, or at least just off track of the goals that you want to accomplish in your life. So for me, that looked like when I felt sick, pushing forward anyway. When everything in me was telling me, this isn't the right way to go. You don't need to do this. This doesn't feel right. I would push through anyway. Through anything. I would just keep going. I was hitting milestones, but I was constantly tense, stressed out. I was always chasing the next thing. And I was terrified to slow down because I thought everything would fall apart. So here's how it may show up to you when you're doing to prove your worth, when you're hustling to avoid silence. That's something that really rocked me when I recognized that that's what I was doing. Because when I slowed down, the doubts showed up. The fear from my childhood, the fear of not being enough, not having enough, losing, right? Partners and relationships, everything would come crashing down on me. But if I stayed in constant activity, I didn't have to think about anything. Then I was totally in my mind, focused on that activity, completely ignoring my body and completely shoving down my emotions. I became so numb that I stopped feeling anything, even joy. I'm sure many of you can relate with when someone asks you, what do you love to do outside of work? And you're like, fuck, I don't even know. Or then what I would say is, I love to work. That's like amazing. But do you? Do you really love to work? I know for me, once I started slowing down, once I faced some of those fears, once I really looked at the things that I was afraid of, the things that I was afraid of not achieving, the things I was afraid of achieving, because I even thought that more money, more success meant more work. And I was already running on empty. So I secretly sabotaged myself. And I mistook activity for momentum. Because when you're in hustle, you're not in control, you're in panic. And no matter how much you get done, it never feels like enough because you're making decisions from fear, not intention. So let me give you some examples of how I started leading differently. I stopped making decisions in the heat of emotion, even high emotion, excitement. Oh my God, this is gonna be great. Or low emotion where I'm like, fuck, I'm so scared. I've got to go. And I gave myself space to ride that wave. Now, it was not easy and it felt so fucking uncomfortable in my body. I didn't even know what to do with myself. For those of you that are familiar with human design, and as you listen to this podcast more or follow anything that we do, you're going to become more familiar with it. I'm a manifesting generator. So what I knew for me, if you're a manifesting generator or a generator, 70% of the world population is, when you feel that unconscious in your body, like I almost felt like I wanted to crawl out of my skin. It was such a habit for me to be in motion and I hated being still. I would go for a walk. I would get that uncomfortable energy out of my body until I felt neutral emotions, not good, not bad. And only then, for me, being an emotional manifesting generator, I had to wait overnight typically. And so now I'll do breath work. I will journal. I will walk. I'll jump on my rebounder. I'll go to yoga. Like I know when I'm in that state, making any decision isn't going to be a great one. I also know that taking any action from a business perspective, like trying to get it done, is not going to lead me in the right direction. In fact, it's diminishing returns. So I started asking myself, is this a true yes? Or is this coming from urgency and fear? While I was waiting out my emotions, I would think about that. And I would, what did I say to myself when I would ask that? What would be the first thing that popped into my mind? Because here's the other thing. We get so good at overriding what our body and what our intuition is trying to tell us that it happens so quickly we don't even know it. So you have to proactively say and commit to yourself, make the promise to yourself that whenever I feel high emotion, low emotion, I'm going to stop. And I'm just going to be, no matter how uncomfortable that is. And then just check it out. As you're waiting to see what comes up. Does it feel like a yes? Does it feel like a no? What do you want to do? What's your body trying to tell you? It's not going to happen overnight. Fuck, it's taken me years. But I can tell you now, life is so much easier. Because when I pause, when I wait out those emotions, I get clarity. Not total clarity. I only get about 80% because I'm an emotional MG. However, much more clarity than what I ever had before. And things start coming in. People will show up. Circumstances will show up that answer the question for me. That, oh my God, that's it. Which I would have totally missed if I was in massive action right out of the gate. So I let myself pause without guilt, because let me tell you, the guilt will come in. We have been conditioned and programmed to move, to make fast decisions, to just get it done and go. Even when everything in me wanted to act fast, I would pause and I could justify the shit out of why I needed to act fast. Don't do it. Trust me, just try it. Try it for 1 week. Fuck, try it for 1 day and see what happens. Because then I learned to trust my instincts, even when they didn't make logical sense. So trust me on this. And more importantly, trust your instincts. Because when I gave myself permission to do less and to listen more, listen to my body, my energy. Do I have energy for this? Do I not? Am I fucking exhausted? Why in the world would you want to do anything when you're exhausted? Right? And I really paid attention to what felt right, not what I thought I should be doing. Whenever I say now I should, or I need to figure this out, I know I am in it and I need to pause. Those are trigger words for me when I am all in the mind and I'm overriding my body. So I stopped proving and I started responding, and that changed everything. Because you don't need to burn it all down. You just need to stop abandoning yourself. Listen to yourself. Your body knows exactly what you need to do, because you don't have to hustle for your success. You just have to remember that success starts in the pause. When you stop reacting, when you slow down, and when you give yourself the space to choose from clarity, not chaos, not the chaos of your emotions and all of the negative self-talk in your brain. Because when you're creating from fear, you're not building what you want. You're building what you're trying to avoid. Because here's the thing. What you focus on expands. That's not just mindset talk. It is energetic reality. When you make decisions from fear, you're focused on what you don't want: failure, rejection, being left behind. And because your focus shapes your actions, your energy, and your perception, you end up building systems, relationships, businesses that mirror that fear. But when you pause, when you wait for clarity, you shift your focus to what you do want. That's how you create outcomes that actually feel aligned, not just look good on the inside. So let me give you a little bit of how this has changed everything for me. Whenever anything, a perceived failure, a setback, anything that pushed me outside of my comfort zone to make me feel fear, I got into action. I pride myself. I made snap decisions. Let's do this. And I would get our whole team moving in one direction, only to find out, we need to do some tweaks. What I do now is I wait. And I have told the people in my life, because here's the thing: everyone's used to me just fixing everything on the fly. I'm the go-to person. I am the savior. I'm the problem solver. That's my human design. However, only when I'm in alignment and I'm calm is that true. So I tell everyone, my team, my family, my friends, I need to pause. So I need you to help me to stay accountable to not making quick decisions. Now, I'm not fucking talking about what we're going to have for dinner. I am talking about any decision that could change the course of what you're doing in your business. Because here's the thing: I was in a business prior to this, and my business partner lived in conditioned fear, making decisions out of fear. And our business would take 10 steps forward and 6 steps back. We would be going one way, then all of a sudden something would come up and we would be taking a sharp right, or even all the way backwards. We could not get the business sustainable because we were pivoting so much. I'm not saying you don't ever need to pivot, but now what I do is I wait it out and I feel into it. What do I feel? I think about, okay, what do I feel right now? As I'm waiting out my emotions to subside, am I feeling satisfied by a decision? Right? Am I feeling at peace with the decision? Because that's how you want to make it. You want to make your decision based upon your type and strategy. For me, being a manifesting generator, when I feel peace and satisfaction in any decision I've made, I know I'm on the right path. But I'm only going to feel that when my emotions are set and when I am calm and I'm not making decisions out of fear. Now, when I make a decision and I'm feeling angry and frustrated, I know I just need to then pivot. But again, don't make the pivot while you're in that, fuck, I'm angry, I feel so frustrated. Make it again once your emotions subside. If you're a manifester, you're going to feel peace when you're on the right path, when you're not working out of fear. And you're going to feel anger when you're on the wrong path, when you've made a decision that doesn't align with where you want to go. If you're a generator, you're going to feel frustrated when you're not moving in the right direction. And you're going to feel satisfaction when you are. If you're a projector, you're going to feel success. You're going to feel accomplished when you're doing something that you're obsessed with. And you're going to feel bitter when you're not. If you're a reflector, you're going to feel surprise. Wow, this is amazing. When you're doing something that is in complete alignment with you. Otherwise, you're going to feel disappointed. These aren't bad things. A good friend of mine says, we are either winning or we are learning. There is no such thing as a mistake, as failure. If you're always thinking that way, it's okay. Take imperfect action. Just slow down enough so you can learn from it. Because here's the thing, if you're in constant motion, if you're in constant activity, you're moving too fucking fast to learn anything. So you're going to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. But if you're at peace, if you're making decisions from a grounded place, not when you're afraid, then you can learn from it, whatever it is. Now I'm like, okay, so universe, what did you want to tell me? What is this? What do I need to learn from this to help me to be a person that can achieve my goals? Because that's the thing. The moment we're in January, I'm sure everyone has put out their New Year's resolution or their vision or whatever. When we make that declaration of what we want, the universe, God, source, whatever your higher power is, brings things, circumstances, people, lessons into your life to help you become the person who can achieve that. If you were already the person, you would have already achieved it. So there's no way it's going to be total smooth sailing, and that's okay. But just be aware enough to be able to learn from it. So if this landed for you, DM me the word clarity on Instagram or on any social media platform. You can find me at Brooke Dukes. And let's reclaim your power together. And if you're ready to finally break this hustle cycle, because I know I've made it sound easy, it's not fucking easy. It took me a while, and it can be easy if you have a community to support you. So if you want to slow down, if you want to make aligned decisions that actually move you toward your goals, then I want to invite you to Success by Design. It's a powerful community of high achieving leaders who've outgrown hustle culture. If you're like me and you're tired of feeling tired and unfulfilled and not knowing what lights you up, what brings you joy anymore, this is what we work on every single month. Real shifts, real support, real results. Because success isn't about doing more. It's about doing what actually works for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to Burn On Not Out. If this resonated, check the show notes for tools and resources to help you slow down, trust yourself, and keep leading without the constant pressure and stress that wears you down. Remember, real success doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from slowing down long enough to see clearly and leading from clarity and peace instead of control and fear. I'll see you next week.